Here's my pick of the 10 best VR games to grab in February 2024. Up first is Project Demigod, and this is the game that's got everyone's spandex in a twist. This is the ultimate superhero simulator where you're not just playing a hero, you're crafting your very own legend. And because I'm a little bit late to the party, it's available on the main Quest store and Steam right now. And this game is sitting pretty with 4.5 out of 5 on the Metastore and over 1,000 reviews. Project Demigod sets the stage for massive physics-defying battles in a sandbox environment, where you'll be swinging through cityscapes or mastering the fine art of smacking baddies with a bunch of weapons and powers. But here's where it gets juicy. With 10 ability sets and counting, you're a customizable powerhouse of your own making. So if you want to mix fireballs, guns, and superhuman strength, go for it. And with over 40 power combinations and mod support, the sky really is the limit. In the immersive and gritty world of VR gaming, Ghost of Tabor emerges as a groundbreaking title that pushes the boundary of survival and combat. And its $10 million success story before even officially leaving the app lab, which is seriously crazy by the way, and so well deserved. This is the hardcore extraction-based survival game that has both PvP and PvE, and it is definitely not for the faint-hearted. It throws players into a merciless environment where every decision could mean the difference between life and death. Unlike other games that might hold your hands through the learning curve, Ghost of Tabor demands vigilance, strategy, quick thinking, and developing serious trust issues. Dropping your gun isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a life-threatening mistake that could lead you catching bullets and bleeding out if you're not careful. Man, this game has great features for endless replayability, including a mix of PvP and PvE, various lootable items, the freedoms to approach games in a solo or squad, but like I said, be careful who you trust, and so much customization where you can craft your loadout, manage your safe house, and navigate through dangerous territories. I mean, let's be real, you're probably already playing it since early access. Now let's dive headfirst into the action-packed of Dragon Fist VR. Kung Fu, where the essence of classic martial art films is brought to life right in your living room. Now this one's been around for a little while, but it's coming to the main store and receiving a full graphical overhaul and multiplayer. And 1v1 online combat games are just so much fun. And whether your spirit calls for wisdom of an old age master or the fiery ambitions of a young Kung Fu prodigy, Dragon Fist has you covered with a roster of 40 iconic characters, each bearing their own signature moves, styles, and they're inspired by decades of martial arts cinema. Kinda reminds me of Tekken or Mortal Kombat, but in VR. Next up is Max Mustard, and this is from the creators of Richie's Plank Experience, which is one of my favorite VR apps to bust out for friends and family. But this time, they're releasing a very polished looking VR platformer for Quest and PCVR. Now, it's just coming to the App Lab on the 14th of February and has a full release date scheduled for the 21st of March. Definitely looks very promising, and I'm sure fans of VR platformers will be frothing for this one. And even though I'm not massively into seated VR experiences myself, I did make an exception for Moss, and this one looks to be just as good. Also releasing on Valentine's Day is Titanic, A Space Between. Because nothing screams romance like a tragic love story on a sinking ship. Here you'll be offered a first-class ticket aboard the infamous ocean liner. It's a VR time traveler, and I figured we'll probably be exploring the boat, solve some puzzles, and then it'll be a race of time to get out. Wait, what was that? And is this low-key gonna be a horror game? As if claustrophobia and slowly drowning wasn't enough, now we have to deal whatever this and this is. Okay, now we're at the halfway point. I figured this could be a nice little segue into a section where I jump into some news, or maybe a sponsor could hit me up. But I'll always include timestamps so you can jump around. But for this video, I'm going to talk about the best game I played last month, because trailers and hypes just sometimes don't always translate so well to the real thing. And my game of the month for Jan was Underdog's The Mech Brawler. And dude, this game is just so fucking sweet. I love when people swear in media, but that's not the only reason. The gameplay, immersion, audience score, and even the fitness intensity is just off the chart with this title, and I highly recommend checking it out and giving it a go. SurvivorMan is coming to PCVR and PSVR 2, and there will also be a content update for the Quest version, which is already out. Here you'll be surviving the blistering cold with just your wits in a VR headset. So in SurvivorMan, your chopper crashes at the top of the mountain, and you're given the simple task of not dying.
This is what dying looks like.
You'll have to build shelters, hunt for food, and remember, no one can hear you as a polar bear rips you apart. It's kind of like your very own Bear Grylls adventure, but hopefully you won't be drinking your own urine. Undercover VR. Let's go back in time because this is a time crisis inspired shooter coming straight to Quest users' eyeballs. You take on the role of one of two undercover agents, I get it now, that's responsible for taking down an evil organization, implanting V-chips in people's brains. It's your classic light gun game and it looks pretty darn good, but actually one time I was at the arcade in real life and I accidentally started playing a 2-player game by myself. So I was kind of in this weird crab stance, holding both guns, trying to get through it, and when I turned around there were 3 strangers filming me, so I kind of have a bit of trauma towards this genre. Anyway, Legendary Tales is coming to PSVR 2, so sharpen your swords, polish your armor, and get a second mortgage on your house because this game is expensive. At $55 this VR fantasy will have you swinging at the air like the legendary hero you are. Here you can team up with friends or go solo as you explore dungeons, and there will be crossplay between PCVR and PSVR 2. Now I personally never picked this one up in Steam on early access, but it is now on my wishlist for when it goes on a big sale. I just have way too many good RPGs to get through before taking this one on. Stranger Things VR finally has a release date, and we're all upside down with anticipation. That looked way funnier on paper, and now that I've read it out loud, I'm a little bit disappointed in myself, but here you get to step in the shoes of your favorite character from Hawkins, and it's not Eleven, it's Vecna, to explore the mysteries of the Upside Down. Looks like we're going to face off against some demo dogs, and I personally really like Stranger Things, and I know it has quite the following, so I really hope they get this release right for VR. And on the last day of the month, we have Heartshot. Well, technically just chapter 1 with a full release and the other 2 chapters coming towards the end of the year, and I think out of all the trailers this month, this one has me the most hyped. It's got those snappy little magnet gloves that kind of gives me Half-Life Alyx vibes. The gunplay looks so sweet, and come on, catching knives and biffing them back just looks so cool. Now I don't normally buy games when only a third of it is being released, but I don't know man, I might not be able to control myself with this one. Now if you do want to see some games that you can play right now, then you can check out this one next.